in this lesson, we're going to try our hands on this question here. So, with this question, all we have to do here is to find the derivative of the function capital F of x, okay, which is equal to x cubed minus 2x plus 3 in one bracket, and then multiplying 4x squared plus 1 in another bracket. So, we have to find the derivative of this function here. So, one thing you notice is that this function f of x here is a product of two different functions. Okay, so what I'll do is that I'm going to name these two functions as f of x and then g of x. Okay, so in that case, we're going to have f of x, okay, to be equal to, that's capital F of x to be equal to f of x multiplying g of x. So this function f of x here is a product of two other functions. So in such a situation, if we are to find the derivative of this function, capital F of x, that's going to be f prime of x. Okay, and then this is going to be, first of all, I'll keep f of x, then I'll differentiate g of x. So that will be f of x multiplying the derivative of g of x, so that what, times g prime of x, and then plus, then over here I'll keep g of x, then I'll differentiate f of x. So you will have g of x multiplying f prime of x. So this is what the product rule says we should do in a situation whereby I have a function which is a product of two other, let's say two other sub functions, okay, which is this case that we have here. So now that we understand this, let's go ahead and then solve this question here. So I'm going to take my f of x to be equal to x cubed minus 2x plus 3. Okay, so I then find the derivative of this function, which will be f prime of what, x. So I will apply the power rule here. So I'm going to have 3x squared minus 2. Okay, so I'll do same for g of x. Okay, so I have g of x to be equal to 4x squared plus 1. Okay, so I have g prime of x to be equal to 8x. Okay, so please don't confuse this f of x here with this f of x here. Okay, they are two different functions there. Okay, this one is capital F of x, and then this one is small f of x. Okay, the capital F of x is for the whole function, and the small f of x is a sub function. So let's take note of this. Let's not confuse ourselves. Okay, so now we have everything that we need. So let's come and substitute into this general formula that we have here. So from the general formula, we're going to have f prime of x, okay, to be equal to f of x. We know f of x to be x cubed minus 2x plus 3, okay, multiplying g prime of x, okay, which is 8x, okay, plus g of x, and then g of x is 4x squared plus 1, and then multiplying f prime of x, which is 3x squared minus 2. So this is what we have now. So all you have to do here is to simplify this expression that we have. So let's go ahead and then look at that. So I'm going to have f prime of x to be equal to, so let's expand this bracket here. Okay, so I'm going to take, I'll take what we have here. Okay, then I'll simplify that first. So let's look at that. So we have x cubed minus 2x plus 3 multiplying 8x. Okay, so that's what you have there. So let's look at what you are going to get at the end. So I'll multiply x cubed by 8x. So that'll give me 8x to the power 4. Okay, and then 8x multiplying minus 2x. So that'll give us minus 16x squared. And then plus 8x times 3. Okay, so that'll give us 24x. So now let's come to this side also. So at this side here, you have two different terms here in this bracket here. Okay, so let's do the expansion here. I'm going to do the expansion separately. So we are going to have 3x squared, okay, multiplying 4x squared plus 1. Okay, and then minus 2 multiplying 4x squared plus 1. So let's simplify this. So you're going to have 12x to the power 4 plus 3x squared. Okay, then minus 8x squared minus 2. Okay, this is what you have now. So let's simplify this. You're going to have 12x to the power 4 and then minus 5x squared minus 2. Okay, so now let's come and substitute this into what we were doing. So we are going to have plus 12x to the power 4 minus 5x squared minus 2. Okay, so this is what we have now. Okay, let me free up some space so that we continue. Okay, so at this point, we will have to simplify what we have here. So we're going to have f prime of x, okay, to be equal to, we're going to have 8x to the power 4 plus 12x to the power 4. I'm grouping like terms, okay. Then we're going to have minus 16x squared minus 5x squared, and then we're going to have plus 24x minus 2. Okay, so let's simplify. So we're going to have f prime of x to be equal to 8 plus 12 will give us 20. So we're going to have 20x to the power 4 and then minus 16 minus 5. That gives us minus 21. So you have minus 21x squared plus 24x minus 2. So this will be the derivative of the function f of x. So now we've been asked to find the derivative at a point 1. Okay, that's, we should find f prime of what? 1. So all you have to do is to substitute 1 in place of x in this derivative that we got. So that's going to be, this is actually supposed to be capital F. Okay, let's take note of this. So that would be f prime of 1, that would be equal to 20 into bracket 1 to the power 4 minus 21 into bracket 1 squared plus 24 to bracket 1 minus 2. Okay, so we can now simplify what we have. So we're going to have 20 minus 21 plus 24 minus 2. And then this will give us a value of 21. So that will be the derivative of the function at 1.